Well, hello everyone, and a very good evening to all. Good evening from India. We also have people joining from the other countries, so good evening from India. And I'm not sure what is the time wherever you are located. Good morning, good afternoon, and all the greetings to you. I hope everyone are fine, and thank you so much for taking out your time and joining this talk show. This is Time with Tushna, and today we have a speaker with me who's Aditya Mehta. We will discuss more about him, and we have a very interesting topic that we will be discussing. That is how to increase your salary with marketing 101 hacks. So trust me, when I heard this topic, it was pretty interesting for me because I myself wanted to learn more from him, and I'm really looking forward to hear from him. Aditya, I see you are in the listening list, so would you please request as a speaker so that I can let you in? Maybe all you need to do is you need to request or raise your hand so that I will get a pop-up as to your requesting to speak, and I will be able to add you as a speaker, so you'll be able to speak then. Right now you're just a listener. Well, there you go. I have given you the access, however it's taking a little while. Well, these platforms can be a little tricky at times, but that's okay. Aditya, are you getting a request that you are a speaker? Because I'm clicking the allow button from here, but I don't see anything happening. So there's no action as such. Can you check your mic, maybe? Wow, we have 18 listeners, 19 listeners for now. Welcome, 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 everyone. Thank you so much for being here. And I really appreciate your presence and I appreciate your time as well. Please bear with us for a while Aditya is just fixing his mic. He's probably using this feature for the first time. So I'm just trying to help him out as to how he can be a speaker. And there he is. Hi, Aditya.
Hi, Tushna. I feel like not too tech savvy here. It's a new platform, right? LinkedIn has
Yes.
just introduced this thing. It's an amazing platform
Yes,
to
indeed it is.
connect.
Indeed it is. I see people, they are, we can connect with people anywhere in the world, honestly. So I think it's an amazing platform, and it's an amazing way to reach out to people, send a message to people, share our knowledge. So yes, absolutely, I agree with you.
Yeah, I'm a big fan of LinkedIn. Of course, we are going to talk about LinkedIn here in our Marketing 101 hacks. Definitely,
Right.
it be a part of it.
Right.
Hmm.
So, listeners, we have our speaker here finally, and we so sorry for the delay. But let's get started for Time with Tushna, increase your salary with marketing 101 hacks. But before I move any forward, I would just like to give you a quick introduction of Aditya Mehta. So, Aditya is a passionate marketer who has worked in multiple B2C and B2B businesses across industries, and he has converted $1 million deals. Aditya, you need to help me with that as well, okay? He applies his marketing tactics in almost everything you can think of. Today, we have got an opportunity to see through his lens for how some marketing hacks can help in climbing the big corporate ladders. So let's all welcome Aditya Mehta. Thank you so much for being here, Aditya, and I really appreciate your time and your initiative to be here and to you to guide people and to help them with your knowledge and your expertise. Thank you so much, Aditya. So I will pass this on to you. The mic is on on your favor. So I would like to tell everyone that please hear and do not drop this call, because this could be a very valuable session for you. And we have limited time. We just have 1 hour with us. So make sure you make the most out of it. Maybe you can have some pen, pencil, or notebook handy with you if you want to note down certain points that Aditya mentions. So Aditya, welcome, and please also, it will be a pleasure to hear from you. You can share something about yourself and tell us about what you do, where you come from, what is the experience you have, and how you'll be able to help the listeners who are in this talk show. Over to you, Aditya.
Yeah, thank you, Trishna, for this opportunity. This has been, I'm very thankful here uh, for this contribution, which I would like to make in everyone's life. See, I go by the philosophy that this world, we all have our contribution to making this world a better place to live, right? And we all,
Absolutely.
whatever we learn, we need to share that, right? And this is a great opportunity where I would also like to mention that Tushna is also doing a wonderful job here in kind of shaping personalities all over the world. Whoever wants to have a great impact in their businesses, in their lives, this is something which every one of us should do to make this world a better place to live. So, right. So we'll go through some marketing hacks here. First of all, I would like to introduce myself in a bit. Of course, Tushna has given an introduction. So I have around 7+ years of experience in marketing. Goes into B2B space and B2C both. So in this 7 years, I have learned some hacks, which I think so. If I apply it to even domains which are outside marketing industry, it works. And this is
Mm-hmm.
something which I think so. Everyone would second that. I believe that this domains like finance, right? Financial, personal finance. We all work for money, right? So if
Right.
you're not a financial professional, that doesn't mean that you don't need any financial knowledge, right?
Mm-hmm.
You need to have financial knowledge and have your personal finance intact to make those ROI with your investment and everything. I call this financial funnels, right? You need to make funnels in your life, right?
Right.
So the money making funnel, it takes, you work for 9 to 5, or almost half of your life goes into work, right?
Mm-hmm.
So that funnel should be perfect enough.
Right.
Same way is the marketing funnel for your life. So
Mm-hmm.
if you're learning few financial aspects or hacks, there is also a need to learn some marketing hacks as well. No matter you are a student, no matter you are a salaried professional, or you are a business owner,
Mm-hmm.
some part of marketing should be there as your skill, so that you can apply it on your day-to-day basis to make your business, to make your job, and to, as a student, of course, to reach out to as many people, to network.
Right.
So this is around that. And I've learned all this thing in the 7 years, and I felt that this is something which can be helpful for everyone all over the world. And these hacks have worked for me personally in my life. Last 3 4 years have been amazing using some of these hacks. It took 2 to 3 years for me to learn this, but when I learned it and I applied it and I saw the results, I was like, oh, this is amazing, right? This is
Mm-hmm.
something which is impacting, this is creating miracles. Sometimes in the beginning, of course, it was a failure, few of them. Of course,
Right.
you try and test, you A B test, and
Right.
then finally you get that mantra, we call it, right? One
Mm-hmm.
mantra where one or two of them which works for you every time and makes your life sorted.
Right.
So it has been working for me in my work, uh, the office work I do, the businesses I associate with as well.
Mm-hmm.
And every time I have applied it, it has given me good fruits. And I just saw that if I apply it even in personal life, even in job search as well,
Mm-hmm.
or increasing your salary, it does work.
Right.
So this hacks are mostly around what I do as a marketer to get leads. I
Mm-hmm.
can apply the same pattern and use it to increase or to get a better job as well, or to get more business as well, as a small business owner or as a student, to get better internships or better getting into the corporate with a better pay scale and in a better company as well. Same
Right.
hacks.
Right.
The rules are the same, right?
Right.
So that is what we are going to discuss, and it is going to be a bit. See, this is not rocket science; it's very easy to learn as well.
Mm-hmm.
It will get a bit in detail with. This is something where people need to sit with pen and paper as well, because I would be talking about some tools and
Right.
techniques as well,
Wow.
which you can just note it down, some names and some influencers as well, which you can follow on YouTube, which would be very useful for you to
Right.
learn. This is, I just want people to do of varied my right backgrounds just to do this activity for 10 minutes in a day. And I'm sure in next 1 month or 6 months, your life is going to change.
Wow. Wow.
Everyone is going through a problem. Some people are kind of not happy with their regular 10 to 20% job raise, right? Pay
Mm-hmm.
raise. And most of the people want some change, right?
Right.
Their hikes are not that much in the industry, and if you're not negotiating much, if you do not have that asking power or that
Right.
negotiation power. What is the power of negotiation? When you have something to fall back upon, that's the power of negotiation.
Right.
That is where you negotiate, because you have a backup plan. That
Right.
is what is the definition of negotiation. So if you have a job offer, if you have two job offers, three job offers, you are going to go high.
Right.
It's a simple trick. It's a very old trick by the book, but the hacks and the and the techniques are very new here.
I see.
So first of all, let's talk about the reality here. The elephant in the room, which we call it, is the pain point is the money making funnel. Right? We
Mm-hmm.
all are running after money making.
Absolutely.
No money is less, no money is more. I don't know where exactly we have to stop.
Mm-hmm.
Especially if I talk about India, of course, we have international clients as well. Money making here in India is a bit uh, on the lower side, and we people face a lot of problems here uh, to raise this thing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Some people are ahead in this race, some people are behind. So people who are behind, they haven't got the hacks to it.
Right.
Some people are ahead because they got those hacks from some people, from some other influencer. Who maybe if you are attending this webinar,
Mm-hmm.
might be possible you will get the hack as well if when you execute it, and then you would be thankful sometime.
Right.
So I'm here. I have used it. I'm kind of totally into it. I saw the results. I want to share it, and I think so. It could be beneficial for you here as well. So the keyword here, the hack here, is networking, right? Now you would be like, this is something which we already knew,
Right.
right? So I'm not going to say something which is, of course, out of this world. This has to be in the syllabus. We all know that how we would raise up the ladder by networking,
Right.
right? But the patterns of networkings are different. The definition of networking from people to people is different, right?
Right.
What normally happens is you are comfortable with someone of the same caliber to
Mm-hmm.
network, right? You would
Right.
talk to someone. If I'm a marketer, I would talk to a marketer only,
Right.
right? But that is not where you are improvising on your career or even your network. You need to keep on uplifting your network. Now you can't be like, I would talk directly to the CEO, hang out with him, go out with dinner with him, because the CEO would also look, right. He is also there to excel, so he would look other CEOs who are better than him to. He would like to network with them.
Right.
He should see that what he is getting from you. So he
Right.
won't say yes to you. He won't hang out with you. So you have to just take those baby steps one by one just to excel with someone who is slightly upper than you, and then climb one step ladder up, and then again up, then again up.
So, Aditya,
So
I have a question here.
yeah,
For example, I'm a HR, right? So, obviously, I will be networking with HRs, right? right? So you mean that we should, you said that we have to move one step at a time, right? So do you think that first I should go junior level and then come to HR, or I should then level up to the manager level and then gradually to CEO? Is that what you mean? Hello? Hello? Aditya, am
Just a
I
pause.
audible?
Can you repeat?
Am I audible? Hello?
Yes, you are audible. I
Right.
lost last 5 seconds.
All right, no problem, no
Hello?
problem. I mean, so what I was
Yeah.
asking you is, you said that we have to gradually move up the ladder, right, for networking. So, for instance, I am HR, and obviously, I would look for a HR circle, so that I would look for, I would look for some hacks, I would look for some tips, how you are working, how this company is working, what's the salary that you're getting. So, do you mean that I should connect with someone junior as well and then go to HRs and then go to the manager, then go to CEOs? And so, I should have networking with all the departments and all the levels, or just keep it to HR?
No, you have to, of course, if you're an HR, you have to, um, of course, network with everyone.
Mm-hmm.
But of course, you also have to see that are they entertaining you or not, right?
Mm.
You can't be gate crashing there. And I mean, it would look not professional to do that, of course, if you're not invited.
Right.
So you just have to be like slightly making them comfortable with your talks. Of course, that's where your role also comes as training professionals, right? How you need to barge in, or how you need to win people with your
Right.
talks as well. That is
Right.
also something a part of your every one of us should kind of learn, right?
Mm.
So that is, I think, so from one by one perspective, I meant that how other people are comfortable. That is where you have, that is how you go up, right? When you are expert with kind of winning over people,
Mm.
talking to them and
Right.
talking their talks, what they like. And of course, they might be seniors to you.
Right.
They will start taking you in their circles. And then
Mm-hmm.
once it is done, stay there for some time and then try to excel with people whom they are trying to connect to, right? So this is how you go up the ladder very fast. Networking is something which works really good. Now, there are different ways of networking, of course. Um, LinkedIn is one of them. We are on this platform,
Right.
and let's accept this. Let's accept this thing that LinkedIn has a monopoly in this space. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, nobody.
Absolutely.
I'm a LinkedIn marketer as well. I run ads on LinkedIn,
Wow.
and I know that when when they ask for some money for certain feature, we have to pay for it, right?
Right.
Because we don't have any option.
Right.
And that's also a reason that I personally have worked upon LinkedIn. I have more than nearly around 30,000 LinkedIn connection, all premium. I know that this LinkedIn thing is going to stay for 10, 20, 30 years.
Right.
And this is where I thought that it is time for me to make my LinkedIn strong. So
Right.
LinkedIn is somewhere, of course, you get a lot of networking.
Mm-hmm.
You can increase your network, but this is getting crowded day by day. Of course, everyone knows about it now.
Absolutely.
It's the only space.
Right.
Other places are conferences, events, this kind of podcast and webinars. These are places where you network.
Mm-hmm.
Cab sharing, interestingly, is also an option, right?
Oh.
I've found some friends of mine who have got jobs while they're traveling in a cab, sharing cab,
Wow.
and they have either get references
Right.
or either get to meet some people who work on director level in some company.
Understood.
And of course, a cab drive is almost sometimes 15, 20 minutes, and you get a lot of time to have that elevator pitch to them
Correct.
that you are.
Right.
Yeah, so that is also something where it's an interesting way. Jokes apart, but it works sometimes.
Wow. Yeah. Wow.
But now, coming to the gold mine here, the thing which has worked for me, the most effective platform
Hmm.
for me for networking
Yes.
is email marketing, right?
I see.
And specifically cold emailing.
Okay.
And this is how it works. Some people say that cold emailing or email marketing doesn't work.
Right.
Cold emailing has been there, email marketing has been there from 1980s, right?
Wow.
It is still there after so many years. years, and it is still going to be there.
Right.
What's the reason for that? Because we have this Google Chrome open right now, and we know that there is one tab which is the first tab where your inbox is open, and you check that every 10-15 minutes,
Sure.
right? That is the thing. You check Instagram. I mean, the youth check Instagram quite often. They spend 2-3 hours in the day. So if you're an e-commerce business,
Right.
you need to add on Instagram. But if you're a professional, his LinkedIn and his email inbox is open on the tab,
Right.
and he's checking it again and again. So if you reach out to him there, both these places, LinkedIn or email, on email in inbox, he will see it, he will reply.
Right.
Your target audience, right? And I'm a big fan of this. This has literally changed my life, email marketing. I love it to the core when the results come in. I've literally converted $1 million deals using only this one technique, which is I'm going to share with
Wow.
you. Of course, that is from a business angle for the companies I was associated with, but it applies on personal level or on job search level as well, right?
Right.
So this has been endorsed by lots and lots of influencers in the market. I was listening to your podcast, last podcast here. It was we are talking about Ankur Warekur here.
Right.
So Ankur Warekur considers email marketing as eighth wonder of this world. He has been doing this from his early days, from his college days itself, and he's the CEO. He was ex CEO of Nearby, and it has worked really good for him. He got this opportunity to talk to very random people in the Silicon Valley,
Right.
and network with lot of CEOs all around the world and learn from them
Wow.
using this email. What he used to do is he used to just send random emails to, say, 15, 20, or 50 people in a day, and
Right.
some people used to reply. A lot of people won't reply because you are a stranger, but
Right.
a lot of people used to reply because they also are seeking for networking.
Right.
If we
Right.
talk about the doyens of digital marketing, Neil Patel, he also says he supports email marketing is going to stay and it is going to create an impact. Brian Dean, who is someone in the SEO field, he is a doyen there. Gary Vee, we all know, the most famous guy there as an influencer. He supports email marketing.
Right.
Alex Berman. Now, this is a small name. This guy is not that famous, but this is the guy who taught me the content of email marketing. And
Right.
I'm literally using his tactics. I was able to convert so many leads, and used to give leads to the sales team to forward it using his tactics. So we are going to learn that thing.
Right.
So let's take it one by one. I mean,
Absolutely.
I just want to cover all the listeners here, or even after this podcast will be going to YouTube. There would be a lot of people listening to it. So I want to cover this. This, of course, we all the listeners are not from marketing background, but you are students. You are working professional, no matter in whatever domain, maybe manufacturing, maybe you are a doctor, or anyone else, or you are a small business owner or normal or big business owner. If you're a big business owner, you'll either hire a marketing guy to do that stuff. But still, you would like to know what the marketing guy will do, right?
Absolutely.
So still, we would cover one by one for students, working professionals, and then business owners. So it would kind of cover the whole gamut of 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 humans we have who are in the working space,
Right.
right?
Right. Aditya,
So
so I definitely see eye to eye to on the email marketing part because honestly, if it comes from my experience, when I open my email, right, I see tons of emails and some are like touching the pain points like directly in the subject line, right? And at times
mm,
I am, I am very much interested to open and see what they are really covering, and I am drawn towards it, and then I do open. But some of the emails I just, just delete and it goes in spam, or I just put it in the bin. But then I really agree to the point that at some point someone will open, as long as you're hitting the right audience. And I think as long as you're also putting a very interesting subject line, that's as per my knowledge, because that's what we see first, right? The subject line. And if it is aligning with our interest, if it's aligning with our work, then I'm sure that most of the people will open it and see it. But my question lies here, Aditya. when you're talking about reaching out to people through emails, so would you recommend people to use the tools, right? Or would you suggest them to do manually?
So here comes the trick, right?
Mm-hmm.
Uh, we follow this thing. See, email marketing, of course, bulk email marketing. When you call it, you send it via Mailchimp. There are other so many tools there. So many CRM softwares are enabled with email sending features, right?
Right.
When you send emails in bulk,
Mm-hmm.
the person, the user on the receiving end, he
Mm.
knows that this is a promotional email,
Right.
and the algorithms of Google and Outlook would consider you as a promotional email and put you in either others folder on Microsoft Outlook or in the promotional folder of Gmail suite.
Mm.
Now you want to land in the inbox, right?
Right.
I mean, Google would bar you, or Google would bar all the spammers not reaching out to you because they don't want to harass. They don't want their users to get harassed, right, by anyone.
Right.
So I support manual sending.
Mm-hmm.
Rather more than manual sending, I would say a text based email. The
Understood.
person on the receiving end should know that you are a human, right?
Okay.
A bot is not sending me an email. If you are a human with a name and you have written your content looks more original,
Mm-hmm.
then he is going to reply. She is going to reply.
Right.
That is deceptive. That is where the maximum open rates comes in. And you talked about subject line. Subject line is actually a fashion statement.
Mm-hmm.
Time to time it changes. I mean, there are very weird subject lines, like the guy I just suggested, Alex Berman. His
Mm-hmm.
name is AlexBerman. You can search it on YouTube. He
Right.
would suggest some bizarre subject lines with beer mugs in it, beer mugs emojis in it,
Oh.
and it has a really good open rate. It works.
Right.
It works every time. So that is where all these things comes into picture. But I do support the text based email more,
Mm-hmm.
because you're sending it directly to your audience and in limited numbers. They should not feel that they are bombarded with emails, and they should feel like replying it to you.
Absolutely.
So this is how it will work.
Right.
Okay, going next. So let's get into the practicality here.
Mm-hmm.
So I want everyone to take their pen and pencils or whatever you have and your book, so that you can note it down what all things you need to do. Okay. So first of all, what's the process of doing email marketing? Suppose let's discuss the pain point. Suppose discuss it from a student perspective. What do a student want? Someone who is a student is in the last year, maybe engineering, maybe he's into MBA, right?
Mm-hmm.
What he needs is an internship. What is the dilemma of a student wait for maybe the placement opportunity in the same college. Companies will come. That's an inbound effect. Companies will come, and you rely on only the companies which came to your college. There would be a
Absolutely.
set of 5 companies, right? That
Yes.
is like you are not on the driving seat.
Hmm.
When a student send emails to his dream company, say Amazon or Flipkart or any big company he wants to work in, he is on the driving seat, right? So
Right.
he will select the people. He would go to LinkedIn directly. Again, LinkedIn is the bread and butter for everything.
Right.
He will go to LinkedIn, and he would select and copy the URLs of all the people who he thinks that could be can give him an opportunity in that particular company. For a student, it would be entry level HRs, right?
Yes.
Who are into recruitment, right?
Mm-hmm.
So he or she student can have a database of that, maybe around 100, 200, not more than that. I don't think so that's enough. In that 100, 200, you will get 4 5 jobs, I think,
Right.
as per my permutation combination.
Right.
So this database creation is there. You make an Excel sheet,
Right.
and you copy the URLs of all these people you have figured out could be your TG. Go on LinkedIn, and now what I would introduce you is some email scraping tools here. Now, this is a marketing thing, of course. A lot of people might not be knowing it. Sales people might be knowing it, because we use at the top of the game. We have a lot of players named um, Scrape.io,
Right.
right? SKRAPE.io. This is an email scraping tool. You can register on this with your personal email ID, not professional, personal email ID. Remember something about personal email IDs. With one phone number, you can make more than 10 personal email IDs. There's no limit to making personal email IDs, right?
Right.
So, with one registration, you will get around 50 free email to scrape,
Wow.
right?
Okay.
And with two in a month, the
Uh-huh.
next month it would again, your credits will be added with 50 more. You have another email ID with which you have registered, so you will get 50 more.
So the
Like in a free
credits,
way, if you
so Aditya,
yeah.
the credits are like it's like refilling every month.
Yes,
Okay.
every month, every 30 days, you would have 50 or 100 in some tools. Scraping tools, you can just go to Google and email scraping tools, top email scraping tools. You'll get a list of I would say 50 plus email scraping tools. You can register on all of them. The scraping tools are basically, see, personal email IDs is not easy to get. Phone number is not easy to get.
Right.
But professional email ID, what's the structure of a professional email ID? Name dot surname at the rate domain.com. That's, I don't know how many people have, understood this thing, but it is very easy
Right.
to kind of assume someone's email ID, professional email ID, right?
Right.
But we don't want to do it manually. So this scraping tools are coded with some algorithms which kind of shoot some crawlers onto this particular 4 5 assumed email IDs, which they generate automatically, and then they select one top email ID which is correct.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
So now you have the Excel sheet, you have 100 URLs of your LinkedIn profiles done. On the side, you got their email IDs. And also see this thing that scrape.io. Scrape.io is there. I'll list down a few more. Clearbit, Clearbit. This is a Gmail based scraping tool. It would have all the email IDs correct, almost all.
Right.
Then there is seamless.ai. There are a lot of them. There's Lead Reaper, there's Lucia. Salespeople might be aware about this, most of them. But remember one thing: more and more emails you scrape, better it is,
Right.
because you're going to send it in bulk later on, right?
Right.
So email scraping thing is done. So you have in the list the people identified, their emails, and now you have to write the draft. And you can take example of Alex Berman's videos. Uh, See few of his videos. He would directly lure you to perfect subject lines. The first line of the email should be personalized, okay, with some compliment. The first line always should be a compliment in an email context, right? And the middle paragraph should be, of course, talking something about you and the meat of the matter over there, and then the CTA at the end, call to action.
Right.
Okay, so you can write that draft, and to personalize it, of course, there are a lot of ways which you can personalize and automize as well. Now comes the part. Now you have an Excel sheet where you have identified, got the email IDs, you have written the draft, and now the time comes to send the emails. So
Right.
I would suggest you two tools which are free. You do not have to rely on any other tool over here. Two tools are yet another mail merge, YAMM, and of course the Outlook mail merge feature, which all of us are kind of aware about it. Yet another mail merge is from Google,
Okay.
right? So that is something which is most effective for me, because Gmail, of course, owns, I think so, 80% of the email marketing space, and
Wow.
the rest is with Microsoft, right? So mostly, if it is yet another mail merge, but the problem with yet another mail merge is you can just send 50 emails per day, whereas in Outlook mail merge, you can send 5,000 emails per day.
I see. So
right?
is are these two free or they have some paid plans?
They have paid plans. So free for yet another mail merge, YAMM. You can again go to YouTube and see YAMM tutorial, how to send emails from that. That's just a 2 minute activity,
Right.
and you will be very much benefited from that. They have a premium plan where you can send 400 emails per day at a mere, I think so, $3 to $4, $5 per year. I think that's
Oh,
very cheap.
that's cheap, yeah.
So it's a Google, yeah, Google gives everything for free except the Google Ads part, right?
Absolutely.
So that's the most expensive, and that's what 80% of the revenue comes from.
Exactly. I was just coming there. Right.
Yeah. So Yam and MailMerge both are good platforms to send emails.
Mm-hmm.
Now you have the database, now you have the draft. Send emails with personalization. Yam would have some features of even personalizing the names and your company or anything similar to that by just putting it into curly brackets, right?
Right.
Now, what will happen is what you can do here is you send this activity, you do this activity of sending 50 emails per day,
Mm-hmm.
every day,
Okay.
and wait for the results.
Okay.
If you're a student, you'll get an internship,
Mm.
definitely, 100% sure. Internships are low ticket size thing. You will get many internship if you're sending 50 emails per day. So many of them. Now, what you can do to increase your salary, of course, you can have two job offers, and in next 15 days, you are having another job offer. So with the HR, you are going to negotiate that I already have this job offer with this salary. How much you are bound to pay? And the HRs, of course, there would be a lot of HRs who would be attending as well. You know that if someone has a job offer, he has credibility.
Right.
He has he is good. That's why he has so many job offers, right?
Mm.
And that's the reason. If you have the budget, you will give him a good salary. If you are a professional, a salaried professional with 5, 10 years of experience in a domain, of course, you are now in a niche, right? After 5, 10 years of working in the industry,
Right.
you might have with this strategy of emailing, you can have, I would say, I got around 2 to 3 job offers in 15 days, in
Wow.
a span of 15 days. I was sending just 50 emails per day. Every day I used to get 3 to 4 calls from HRs. How this works is basically what my database was. I used to also have HRs. HRs sometimes don't reply because they might be snowed down under by a lot of work and they might receive a lot of resumes, right?
Right.
So I used to even target marketing heads and marketing directors or even some all the C-suite people. I
Mm-hmm.
used to get their email IDs as well. So when I used to, as a working professional, when I used to send this email of my resume to them, they are like, if they have time, fine, they would reply. But most of the time, they used to forward it directly to their HR
Right.
because this is a referral, right? If there is something called referral bonus in every company. If you referred someone,
Mm.
like someone reached out to you via email and you forwarded it to the HR,
Mm.
the HR will take it like you are someone known of that particular CTO who has forwarded me
Right.
this resume of yours, right? And the HR will make sure to call you. He or she will take your profile at the top of the other profiles which are there in his bucket
But I
list,
think
right?
Aditya, just to cut you here, I think this will only apply to the people who have good experience, who have obviously like for example you, if you reach out to C levels, they would really entertain your resume, right? But for example, an intern he is looking for internship, they try to tap C levels, then I don't think so. They would entertain, would they?
No, they won't entertain. That's where I just said that they have to try the level HRs
Right.
because entry level HRs have the responsibility of luring in
Yes.
interns and entry level professionals. Even
Yes.
an HR who is senior,
Hmm.
he or she might have the task of hiring a senior guy only. That's how it works, right? You
Right.
need to understand this basic concept that who is having what responsibility.
Correct.
If you're a working professional and you are good at it, you are with a good experience, you can reach out to C-suite guys,
Absolutely.
definitely.
Absolutely.
And with this hyper personalization approach, they are going to entertain you. I can't tell you, there are some very big companies, and there were guys who just come under the CEO. These companies are of 1 lakh, uh, 10 million kind of uh, employee size companies. And I was able to talk to, I don't know how this happened, but I was able to talk to people who were directly working under the CEO.
Right.
And there were just 4 or 5 of them who were working under the CEO. And the name of the company was Nvidia. Of course, it's a very big company, right? And you can sometimes that kind of an experience is also good or bad at the same time, of course, because their expectation would be very high. But that is where you get this fact that even if you want to talk to someone at the highest level, you can reach out through this tactic, which you just
Absolutely. Understood.
emailing.
I would like you to also highlight one another factor here when it comes to emails. So we created a database, we shoot the emails, we wait for the results. But then, what about the follow-ups? I think people also need to be educated on the follow-ups, because you cannot be so aggressive on just asking on the updates, right? Very next day you're mailing out to them asking, is there any update, can I call you, what's your number? So that's not a very ethical or a very healthy follow up that they should do. So if you can also guide the listeners as to what is the type of the process that they should follow for follow ups, how often they should do it, and how many follow ups should be done to make sure that it's not being very annoying to the people who are receiving it or for the receivers.
Yeah, I just missed this point and a wonderful pickup from you. It's a wonderful kind of a notion. People should know this. Follow up. Let me throw some data in front of you. When we do lead generation for marketing campaigns, follow up gives us more leads than the first email, right?
Wow.
And the same thing happens here as well, because the first email is sent, which is more like an introductory email, or you just say something about you, right?
Hmm.
When the follow up comes in, a lot of people would be in different modes there. Maybe they would be just like, okay, I forgot to forward it to the HR, I forgot to reply.
Right.
But the thing is, they definitely will do an action on a follow up, right? And the follow up should not be bland enough. Like, can I have your number?
Right.
You do not have to sound salesy anywhere. If
Right.
you sound salesy, you would sound more like a thief there, right? This
Right.
salesy content never works. Salesy content only have to come after a lot of nurturing, right? You
Right.
have to nurture them first.
Hmm.
So, uh, in a very ideal world, I think in marketing, normal campaigns, we do more than 3 to 4 follow ups maximum.
Mm-hmm.
And we keep a gap of 3 to 4 days again,
Right.
right? But in those follow up, we call it drip email marketing. We send some case studies as well, and we send some news article as well in between. And then the last email is called breakup email. Like,
Right.
I mean, we do not have to be very rude there, but I think so. You might not you're not interested much, but definitely in future you
Mm-hmm.
would be. So please keep us into your banks, and we would reach out to you again. So this is the breakup email. But for job perspective, I would just count just throw a number, which is, I think so, three times
Right.
in a span of 2 3 days. I think so you can have an update. You can this for job perspective, I think so you just have to type in more like, um, I know you are busy enough, but if you have like just like couple of minutes, can you just help me out here?
Right.
Or help me out might not be a good idea,
Mm-hmm.
but can you just reply and have some action, whatever you have said or whatever you want them to do, either forward it to the HR,
Mm-hmm.
or they might reply. Sometimes you also reply to your domain director as well. Like, I'm marketing, so I'm mailing it to the marketing guy.
Right.
So you might need sometimes people directly call to the decision maker, not the HR.
Oh.
A lot of cases happened with me. I directly talked to the CEO first, and then it comes down to the bottom. After he selected me, and then it goes to the HR
Right.
round.
Right.
So this is also something which you can do,
Right.
right?
Mm-hmm.
So I would say just three, and
Okay.
be very friendly. I mean, these emails are more like, as I said, you should look more like a human.
Of course.
Uh, it should not, and no, not at all salesy. Keep that in mind. Not at all salesy. Not pushing in. If at the third time they are not replying, because by the third time, of course, they should reply in most probability. But if they are not replying, they are not interested. Or
Right.
maybe they would have sent forwarded it, but they are not replying, or maybe they are too busy. So you need to find someone else in the same company. Of course, when you are making that database, you are not going to make one uh, from one company. You need to have at least 10 to 15
Right.
of professionals. Out of 10 to 15, you would have a strike rate of around 3 to 4.
Oh, wow.
But 3 to 4 is enough, right?
Yeah.
So
Right.
that is where I think so. So coming back to the target, the audiences we have, students can have great internships using this tactic. They can get good salary, first job.
Mm.
Professionals can really have good hikes. Now, professionals again, I mean, this I would like to second this here. These are my 2 cents here, that most of us will kind of accept this, that when we get a job offer,
Yeah.
right? One job offer, first job offer,
Right.
then we are like, we just have maximum 10 to 15 days to get another one,
Right.
right?
Mm.
Otherwise, we won't be in the condition to negotiate,
Right.
right?
Right.
And that is where this particular tactic, if you're sending 50 emails per day,
Mm-hmm.
make it 200, and
Right.
I'm damn sure you'll land in next 15 days sending 200 emails per day.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you're spending almost like 1 hour per day to send emails. You will get more jobs compared to going to Indeed or Naukri.com. These days, I don't know, those platform doesn't work the way we want.
Right.
Especially in the COVID pandemic time when everyone lost their job. I was also one of them, but I used this tactic to get another job, right?
Understood.
So that time, nobody was replying on these traditional platforms. Maybe it's Indeed, or in India, it is Naukri.com, which is at the top,
Mm-hmm.
right?
Mm.
And that is where email marketing came as a rescue for me. I have literally helped a lot of my friends who have lost jobs during the COVID time, and they are very thankful to me, and that is where I want to share this knowledge. I wanted to share this knowledge with everyone as well. So in 15 days you would get 2 to 3 job offers. Now you are in a good position to
Right.
bargain for the next job. And as you see in the industry, especially if you're working in the IT space,
Mm-hmm.
IT, then there would be a lot of hike compared to your other job offer,
Right.
because their roof is very high
Hmm.
of giving you a salary, because the business itself has is very profitable in IT, right?
Right.
So that's just one example. It would apply to other jobs as well. If you're into niche market, even then, I think so. If you would be able to accumulate more jobs using this tactic.
Right, right. I think
Fits.
I would definitely agree, and this is an amazing approach, honestly. And even I feel every business should have an email marketing strategy in their business. Plus, since you have addressed students specifically, I would like to mention one thing here. You definitely have to follow this step because, as Aditya rightly said, that you need to be in charge of your vehicle or your life, right? You need to be on the wheel. But before you start sending the emails and before you start creating the database, I think the very essential part here is that you do a self analysis before that, to understand that what kind of industry you really want to get into, what is the type of job that you want. You want to work from home, you are okay to travel, what is the kind of salary that you're looking at, what is your ideal environment that you want to work on. So whatever it is, plus you also need to work on your strengths, your weaknesses, your the threats that you have, the opportunities that you have. And then accordingly you drill down and create a filter of the companies which are matching your skill sets and the set of requirements that you have. Then eventually I think, creating a database, and then hitting LinkedIn, email scraping, and all these things would then fall into place, and then it would be much more effective. Now, since I have added this here, it's because I have been into the the coaching part where I have interacted with over 5,000 students until now, and I have really seen that they are blank. All they see is, okay, we need a job or we need an internship, but they don't know what exactly is their goal, what is their skill
Mm.
sets like. So what they do is they just start shooting emails to every company they see or every opportunity that they get, right? It could be also email, sorry, LinkedIn messaging, right? So
Yeah.
they abuse these platforms, I believe. So I think the first step here would be, obviously Aditya, he has brought his expertise here and I am bringing mine, so adding these two, I'm presenting it to you. You start from analysis. You first start from your self analysis. You first understand what are your skill sets, what are you good at, what is your weakness, what could be your opportunities, what is the kind of company that suits you, your requirements, what is your goal, your long term, short term, and then accordingly you have the filtration of the companies, and then you take up these steps that Aditya has mentioned. What do you think, Aditya?
Yes, yes. I, of course, went for the second part, which I'm good at. I
Right.
thought that that part, of course, would be clear with people, especially with students, right? They
Right.
need to know where exactly they need to go. I
Right.
mean, I go by the Ikigai concept, right? Every one of us have read that Japanese concept,
Right.
Japanese book, that you need to know, you need to find love with your job, right? You need to
Absolutely.
know what you are passionate about.
Right.
But you also have to see, do the world needs it or not, right?
Absolutely.
And that means that will the world will pay you for that or not,
Right.
right? If you love dancing but the world already have a lot of dancers, so you might not be able to earn much. So that is where you have to decide your career. Right now a lot of careers are trending, like data science, there's everything in analytics and AI, and this are going to be future. Even digital marketing, where I'm into, this is going to be future. It's not going anywhere. Every business is going to come online, and every business will need digital marketing. There would be a lot of competition. So this is how you have to analyze.
Right.
You have to find out, if you're a creative mind, you can go to branding, marketing, and a lot of stuff around architecture. A lot of domains are there with creativity. Everything related to social media. You can be an influencer. You can be the next Tushna as well, right? And that's your choice. Now you have, like, the gamut is very big enough
Mm.
wherever you put your hands. But just make sure that you love what you do, because that is where you would live a better life. And that, the way I say it, that you need to have those funnels, like financial funnel, nine to
Right.
five,
Right.
money making funnel. That money making funnel is sorted, right?
Right.
And then you have to concentrate upon your personal life, your relationships, and your health as well, because without health, you're not going anywhere. So all these funnels have to be given time in your 24 hours of the day,
Right.
and that is where you would live a better life, or you would be able to contribute in this world to make this world a better place to live. So this is
Absolutely.
what I think, and I think this was quite insightful for everyone. We are already like nearby time, right? So if there are any questions, Tushna, we can take it.
Yes, sure. Listeners, before we take any questions, I would quickly, this is my time, I would probably quickly introduce myself so that you know me, who's the host, right? I'm Tushna Pandey Nikam, as you can already see my name, and I'm an executive and celebrity coach. And this is my talk show that I have recently launched, which is called Time with Tushna, as you know. And I help individuals and companies with trainings for communication skill, personality development, public speaking, and much much more. And I have been doing this for over, maybe I would say, 5 years. And I also have a startup, two startups, I would say. One is Sprouts Career Bridge, which is a training institute in Pune. Obviously I have a team there, I don't need to look into it, I completely focus on my coaching business. And third is Missile London Valley, which is, I know the name is interesting, but that's a food business. Again, it's in Pune, but the reason to launch this was to give a platform to the women here that I see who have a lot of fire in them. They want to work. So this particular initiative was just to give the ladies a platform to work. So it's a cloud kitchen, and we are waiting for a food license. It's just a baby. We've launched like 2 months back. And yeah, so I'm super active. I keep doing something or the other, especially when it comes to training. I'm a speaker as well. I have been invited in multiple colleges and university to guide the students and address them and help them with the directions and career growth and much more. So yes, I am very happy because I love talking, as you can already see. And I love to host this talk show as well. So, any of you who would want to be a speaker in my show, you're more than welcome. You can connect with me personally, and I will be more than happy to, have you as a speaker on my show. So, it will be absolutely my pleasure. So, let's go ahead, and I would really like to hear from my listeners. If you have any questions, you have any suggestions, if you have any feedbacks, you want to ask anything to Aditya, especially since he's here. He's shared beautiful insights, and really he's gone in depth as to how you can apply for jobs, how you can hit growth, and many more names of the well-known personalities whom you could follow, plus the tools as well. So if you would like to have more clarity from him, or you would like to ask any questions, please, maybe you can use the react button and you can raise your hand, and I can give you the speak access, so you can ask your questions. So anyone who would like to ask anything, please use the react button that you see. Anyone? But Aditya, the best part is all the listeners who've joined us right from the beginning are still there. So this shows that your topic has been really interesting, plus whatever you have shared has kept them all, it's kept them all glued. So they are all
Yeah.
here. So I am really grateful to have you here. I'm sure all the listeners are as well. Probably some are busy or some are shy to ask questions. You can also reach out to him personally, but in case you ask him now, I would be happy to hear your question as well. So any listener, anyone wants to ask anything, please, it's your time now.
Yeah, sure. You can go ahead. Anyone, if you want to ask. I have one last point of making money in dollars as well, which I would cover, which can be used with this tactic again. It would be just a 2 minute thing.
Yes, I think Aditya, if you have any topic, then you can really go ahead and we can wrap this up, because I don't see anyone asking any questions. So I feel that they've enjoyed your session and they really love it. So you
Yeah,
said you have
it
something.
was it was kind of direct as well. So just wrapping this up. Of course, what you have to do is you just need to have an activity of 10 minutes per day. Send 50 emails randomly, or if you are on a track to change maybe your job, or even if you're a business owner, you can. If you're a B2B business owner, you do connect with a lot of other vendors as well, right? Using this tactic, or you can get leads from this tactic as well. So
Right.
first you have to do a database thing. Go to LinkedIn, have a database of your target audience. Email scraping tools, I have given 4 or 5 of them, or you can directly go to Google and type in email scraping tools, top email scraping tools. You get them, write a draft, use Alex Berman's idea of content here, because that works wonderfully, and then send the emails via yet another mail merge or Google or Outlook mail merge, which is free enough,
Right.
and then wait for the results. This
Right.
is going to work. And now adding the dollars part, or I would say for us in India, it is around dollars. But if you're in some other country, there would be some other country which would be more expensive than your country, right? The salaries are different in other countries. Like
Absolutely.
Switzerland's salary would be more than the US salary, of course, right? It's the
Absolutely.
most expensive country in the world.
Right.
So you can target some business in Switzerland, or say if it is in the US, with the same tactic. They won't, if you send them a LinkedIn connection with no mutuals, they are not going to accept it. They'll consider you a terrorist if you're doing that on LinkedIn. They won't
Right.
accept it. But if you're sending an email saying that I'm this guy, I have a team, I can do marketing for you, I can do this thing for you. Especially if your job is more like desk based, you can do it from laptop. You're a software engineer, you are into HR, you are into marketing. These things can be delivered all over the world, right?
Right.
And you can be earning, you could be earning. I've seen literally a few of my friends earning in dollars, especially after this pandemic situation where everyone was working from home. So there's no difference between someone who works in the Silicon Valley in California or someone who works here in India. They
Right.
both were getting the same salary.
Mm-hmm.
And you can just imagine with the purchasing parity what we have here in India, which is a developing country. If you
Right.
have the salary which people get of $100,000, which is
Mm-hmm.
the average salary of the US is $55,000, right?
Right.
So if you're getting that over in India, it is too much with the purchasing parity because all services and everything is quite cheap here. So
Right.
use this tactic to even earn in dollars or say other currencies as well, targeting all over the world.
Right.
And your life would be sorted because you would be earning 3-4 times more than your counterparts. Or in we say it in India that there is a roof of any company who gives salary to any employee, no matter how good he is, there is a roof.
Right.
About that, you might not be able to get, or about some roof, there is huge competition. So what you can do is you can target some other countries where there would be that country decent pay is too much in your country
Right.
using this tactic.
Right.
So this is something which I want to add, and this is where you go rich, and you have decent amount of money in your bank account, and then you buy time with that money. I mean, the real definition of being rich is not buying a Maserati with money; it's buying time with money. If you
Right.
have time, you are richer than someone who is a billionaire. That's
Absolutely.
what I believe. That's what
Absolutely.
my philosophy. And don't
Absolutely.
run too much behind money because sometimes more money is more expensive. This is also a quote, right?
Right.
This is a
I
golden quote. More money is more expensive. So you
I
have to pay for more money.
absolutely. I remember, people ask around that, can you buy happiness with money? And this was asked to Eminem about the same question was asked to him, and he says, you cannot
Crazy.
buy, yes, you can in fact buy crazy ass happiness, right? So you can buy happiness, and trust me, you can buy many much more. But then, of course, more than money, I think you should value time, right? As Aditya rightly
Yes.
mentioned. So, Aditya, we have someone from the listener, Pori Adventures, who has raised their hands and would really like to speak something. So, I will just allow them to speak.
Yeah.
Hi there, you are on mute. So if you could just please unmute yourself so we can hear you.
Yes,
Amazing.
can you hear me now?
Absolutely, Puri.
Yes. Yes.
I'm called Tony.
Tony.
Tony is my name. Tony Del Piso is my name. Just a compliment from what I've learned today. Of course, this is my company. It's called Pori Adventures. It's a baby company. I had the worst experience during COVID. I used to work for a tour and travel company, and we were laid off. So I decided to start up my own company, which is, I think, like 6 months ago. So what I've learned today is more about the email marketing, which is a very good tool. I've been doing it for the past maybe 1 month, though I didn't have more of the knowledge which I've received today. So it's just a compliment to say thank you for this talk show. It has been really helpful and insightful. And also, in case you need to travel to East Africa, you can reach out to us. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Tony. I
Yeah.
really appreciate that. And definitely, I mean, I love traveling. So anytime in future I have to travel, I will contact you. And the credit goes
Thank
to
you. Thank
Aditya
you.
for today's session. Thank you so much for this insightful session. Aditya, you would like to ask or say anything to Tony?
Yeah, see, Tony, I love that it was kind of a value and add on to your experience. Just keep on following the influencers, which I just mentioned, and then you'll get more and more knowledge about it, right? So this is where I'm so obliged that that's a compliment for me. And as I said, making this world a better place to live. So this is something, of course, is an add on. Thank you. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you. Thank you. Have a good evening. Thank you.
Thank you, Tony. You too.
Thank you.
Yes, we also have another listener who would like to ask or say something. Praveshika. Sorry, I'm so bad with names at times. I hope I'm pronouncing it right. If not, then please help me. How do I pronounce it?
Yeah, hi.
Hi.
It's pronounced Praveshika. It's
Praveshika.
good.
Nice,
Yeah.
nice. Okay, good.
And I'm from Mauritius. I'd like to thank you for hosting this show. It has been very insightful. And thank you to you, Aditya, as well. I wasn't present since the beginning of the meeting. I have a question, so I don't know if you have already answered this. I am just a fresh graduate. I just finished my degree and I'm currently applying for internships in marketing. And one thing that I found very challenging was that people look for experience. Despite you're applying for an internship, they look for 1 year experience. And like the job goes to people who have experience, who have interned before. So how would you advise to bridge that gap to get the job quicker?
So first of all, we need to know. Thanks for the question, by the way. This would be insightful for other people as well, students as well. What happens here is the demand and supply curve gets hampered, especially after the COVID times. So what happened during COVID is even experienced professionals, like 1 or 2 years of experienced professionals, were going for internships. And I think so the same thing is that trend is continuing because a 1 year professional might not go for an internship, but just because there are lesser jobs out there, or maybe they want to work in a very their dream company, that's why they are okay doing an internship. So you're right now looking for an internship itself, right? And you are a fresher. So that is where the content role plays. That is only going to give them a shot. You don't have any experience, so you can't show anything much on your resume. But what you can show is, of course, your energy. Your resume has to be very creative. Go for tools like Canva. I think so. Most of us know that Australian software, and try to have a very creative. Especially you're applying in marketing, right? So you can have a more of like a graphic designer kind of a resume, which will first kind of put you ahead of a lot of other resumes out there, which are there with the HR, right? And then of course you can add all bells and whistles to the content in your resume, and you have to talk about how good you live your life, especially your in the resume itself, right? This might sound weird, but that is what people like, especially when you are applying in startups. They want to see that what all things you do and how committed you are. What's your outlook towards life? So all those extra activities you do, which are your hobbies and all, mention all of those in a very creative way. Plus, what's your foresight, your prophecy towards the future? What you want to become, what you want to, how you want to impact businesses. Talk about it. Like mostly when people write resumes, like one company, second company, they write in pointers. It has been said that it is easy to read in pointers, but you need to reverse engineer this thing, and you can write a story in one experience. Like one company you worked in, you wrote one paragraph in that resume, and then the second company you worked in, you wrote a paragraph in that. So this is a very creative way. The person on the receiving end would be like, this is something different. I mean, this is a story, right? A one paragraph story about this company, how wonderful your experience was and how you impacted their business. So you have to include, as you do not have an experience, you have to include an imaginary uh, kind of a thought in that content in the first page itself. That will work, I think. So anyone who is a marketing director or marketing head like I am, who would see such kind of a resume, I would like to have you as an intern, definitely, because I see that how creative you are, and how what's your foresight and your commitment. Rest of the things are, of course, what you talk in the interview, but I'm damn sure that you will get an interview schedule using that resume. Rest is, of course, talking about how you have your life enjoyed, how you enjoy your life, and all the extra activities which you do, which is something which works for me.
Aditya, you're breaking a little. Is it only for me?
The
Hello?
Yes, it's the same for me. I cannot hear him anymore.
Right, he might have some.
Private.
Hello, Aditya?
Yeah, I'm here.
Yes.
You can hear me?
Now it is, yes.
Yeah. I think so. We lost last 10 seconds, right?
Yes, probably. You might have to repeat that for her.
Yeah, so I was just saying that, of course, you can go with the resume part. That is perfect enough. And then next, you have to go with, of course, the face-to-face talking, where, of course, the suggestions what Tushna have, that might work. You need to use a lot of idioms as well. I mean, sometimes it's very difficult to gulp Oxford dictionary. You can't gulp so much of words, right? It's not possible for a human. So have like idioms, few corporate idioms. You can just directly go on YouTube and search best corporate idioms. Use those in your talking. Your seniors, your HRs, everyone would be impressed that you are someone who's good. So looking, they would definitely give you an opportunity. Maybe the remuneration might be lesser than someone who has 1 year of experience, but the thing is, you would get an opportunity to excel and showcase your work, and then you can climb stairs. I mean, you can go up the ladder very fast using such tactics.
Right.
So that's my suggestion for you.
Thank you very much. That was very useful and insightful. I would definitely try all the points that you mentioned. Thanks once again.
Yeah. Thank you. All the best.
All the best, all the very best to you, and I hope that you get your dream job and intern, to be more precise, and just do some basic research about the company wherever you want to get in. But before that, make sure you know yourself well, so that when, if you're answerable to the company or the HR, you will be able to tell them what exactly you're good at, what you're not good at, and accordingly it will also help you with the filters, as I've already mentioned previously, with to filter down the companies where you could really apply for jobs, and not just hit every company that you see on LinkedIn or on your on the search list, so that you just have your specific requirements. Just go ahead with that, and obviously use the techniques and the tips that Aditya has given to you, and I think you will be good to go and you will do great.
Thank you.
Thank you so much. You have a very nice day. I will move you to the listener list, and again, wish you all the very best. Anyone else would like to ask anything or would like to say anything? Anyone from the listeners? We will be wrapping up now. We are running out of time. Yes, we have someone from the listeners. Malik. Hi, Malik.
Hello, hi there. How are you? Are you able to hear me?
Absolutely. Thank you so much for opting to speak. We can definitely hear you. How are you, Malik, today?
Yeah, I'm all good. Thanks. I'm calling from Saudi Arabia.
Wow.
Thank you for this talk show. I just joined in a bit late minutes, but whatever I could get it was quite helpful.
Thank you.
My question to Mr. Aditya. Okay, I'm in the advertising world and in the client servicing department. And now you see a lot of people at the mediocre level, and you just wanted to go away from the crowd, make your own identity. How do you really master your skills? What will help you in to be identified? Yes, he is the master of his field. If you have a crave, if you want to really go up, and you also said there is a roof in every organization, in every culture, what do you suggest? Shall I just get more training here and there and improve the skills, or jump into the environment where you are challenged to do more than your capabilities? Thank you.
Yeah, Manu, that's a wonderful question. I think so. The second option which you gave, I would like to echo the same thing. When you get a challenge environment, that is where the tree grows, right? And then, of course, I would just go by the way, if you want to brand yourself, right? You have to go by the way of content. Content is considered the king, right? You need to differentiate. There's a lot of competition out there, a lot of people who are training themselves and skilling themselves. We have the facility, the bliss of internet. You can learn anything if you have time. You can excel into anything. So that is where your creativity, it's a mix of creativity plus, of course, creativity into content that will put you apart from everyone else. And of course, a challenging environment where you have to keep on A/B testing, keep on testing, uh, do fast, fail fast, do fast, fail fast. That's how you're going to learn. And there would be some place at like the fifth or sixth trial. That is where you'll get the hacks. We discussed about the hacks today, right? I was not able to do that. I didn't understand in the beginning. I was into marketing from the beginning itself, because I used to do a very good creative drawing in my childhood. So I was very much interested into making or doing graphic designing, right? I used to do it in MS Paint those days when we did not have Photoshop and anything else. But I used to make it very creatively. I had this thing of grabbing eyeballs, right? So the same thing, I think so. We need to put that thing into a very challenging environment, and that is where you come to know that what's the level of the world, and you need to match that with that level. Like, of course, doing advertising in New York City or Silicon Valley would be at a higher level, would be more challenging. They would be the top notch players in the market, right? And someone in a very small town or some developing country would be on the smaller side. But the thing is, with the bliss of internet, we can learn the same tactic and apply it in a very challenging environment to get maximum results, and you definitely will excel after that thing, right? I hope this answers the question.
Great. Thank you so much.
I would also like to add something here, Malik. You know, technicalities is something that Aditya has definitely mentioned. Now, adding to that, I would say the qualities that really help one to be different from the crowd is number one, you need to constantly upgrade yourself, constantly, because I have seen people that once they enter the industry, they forget learning. They
Exactly.
don't learn, and that's where you start falling down, and that's where your life and your career starts becoming stagnant at some point. Second is discipline. Not everyone can do that. Trust me, if
Yeah.
these two qualities are something that you adapt, and obviously the technicalities are definitely there, when you add these two things in your life, everything else starts falling in your place, and you automatically start looking, you start being the louder in the room, loudest in the room, I would say, not even louder. So two things again. One is you need to constantly upgrade yourself, you need to constantly learn. The internet today is the biggest resource and the best resource we have. This
Yeah.
leverage was something that the previous generations did not have, and we are so blessed to have this. We can find any answers that we really want. We can go and even look about what Mars is made up of. What is there? Oxygen? There's not oxygen, right, sitting in this place. So if we have
Yeah.
so much information there out, we should really utilize it. But people don't do that. So if you keep yourself constantly upgraded, your knowledge, your skills, especially your skills, and second, if you have a very disciplined mindset and you have your disciplined life, I think nothing can stop you, Malik.
Great, thank you so much. Yes, it's quite insightful. I'll definitely keep in mind and start getting on this track.
Absolutely. Thank you so much, Malik, for speaking and to ask questions here. It was amazing having you here. Thank you so much for your time. Appreciate it. You
Thank
have a
you.
good day and all the best to you.
You too. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye. Anyone
All the best,
else?
Malik. Thank you.
Yes, and anyone else, or we're good to wrap up? You can definitely reach out to me personally or Aditya personally if you would like to be a speaker, or if you would like to, ask questions, or if you want to give feedbacks, or anything else you want to discuss something. Feel free to reach out to us. This talk show is for you, and it will always be for you. I will try to bring the best out of every talk show so that you get the best advice, knowledge, skills that is needed for you to upgrade yourself, to grow, and everything else. And most importantly, today, Aditya, thank you so much for taking out time for this show and coming here and sharing such insightful tips and strategies, and to help them with their questions, their doubts. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for being here, and maybe we will connect back again. We'll do a series 2, maybe episode 2, whatever it is, if in future. And again, thank you so much. So we will connect back again. Aditya, if you have anything to tell to our listeners, and of course me as well, maybe, so you're more than welcome to speak.
So, first, the listeners, of course, thank you for listening to me. I hope you would incorporate all the hacks which I have given it to you with discipline. And if there is any change in your life, it's just the way I saw it. I know from last 2 years I have been incorporating these hacks, and it has worked for me. That's why marketing, email marketing, I'm considering it more like Gaudi to me, right? This is something like my religion, and I'm endorsing it to everyone who follows it. I hope that every one of you would benefit from it, and of course, be in peace, and of course, spread love all over the place. Something for Tushna, of course. Tushna is a very good friend of mine, and she's a wonderful human being. uh, Thank you for having me and giving me this opportunity for sharing this. I do have some stage fear as well, and this is kind of one of my first kind of live podcast thing, and I'm sure about this thing. I wanted to start, and I'm going to be there if it is a series 2, if we are launching a series, and going to launch a podcast series as well. Whatever I have learned in marketing, I think so everyone should kind of benefit from it, right? Not just me, everyone. so
Absolutely.
so this is so keep spreading love, keep spreading your knowledge. This is how everything would be much better around us, right? Thank you for having me. Thank you, everyone.
You're welcome, Aditya. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, all the listeners, for having patience and sticking by us till the end. Please make sure use the right advice that you've got, the tools and everything that you've heard today. Utilize it so that you can bring the best out of it, and you will see the results, obviously. And do follow me, do follow Aditya if you are looking for more such tips and for more knowledge and for such more talk shows. So keep following, and until then, you guys all take care of yourself, and I will see you soon. Till then, spread love, as Aditya said, and I will see you soon. Peace, everyone. Thank you so much. You guys have an amazing day, amazing week ahead, and bye.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you.